Oh my god! What's up, YouTube? It's another day with the one and only Billy J. And this is another episode of our Week Late and Dollar short series and our review of American Idol Season 14. And this is episode 20 where the top 11 are revealed. And I just want to say that with the talent that American Idol has this season, the title is up for grabs. And any one of these performers can win it. With the exception of this one, and of course the person that was eliminated this episode. And with this season, they're only having one episode per week. So each episode every week they're going to perform and eliminate in the same episode instead of having two separate episodes where they perform and then have the elimination episode the night after. So they're going to continue with their Price is Right type of format and have the contestants come down one by one and perform. And then the last person is going to be the person that's eliminated, and they're going to have to sing for the judges' save. And once the judges' save is used up, I don't know if they'll still have the people perform or not, but I guess we'll get there when we get there. And the theme for this week was Let's Get the Party Started. And also this episode they had the contestants sit in light up chairs where all the chairs were red, and then if they were chosen to go through, their chair would light up green. And to get the party started, the first contestant chosen was Rayvon Owen, and he sang Burn by Ellie Goulding. And for some reason, his falsetto portion of the song, it wasn't very good to me. Usually I love Rayvon's silky smooth voice, but like I said, his falsetto part of the song, it just didn't mesh well for me. And the judges raved and hooped and hollered about how great the performance was and how it was his best performance. Well, with the exception of Harry, he said it's one of his stronger performances. But I don't know what they were hearing. I personally didn't think it was his best. But it was a good, solid performance from Rayvon. The next chair to turn green was Maddie Walker. And she sang She's Country by Jason Aldean. All I can say is, can you say Mini Carrie Underwood? Wow, for me, the party just started with Maddie Walker's performance. What a great performance, and she did it all while sick or hurt or something, because immediately after she sang and they did a little promo thing, she just went to the medics like right away, and she wasn't seen for the rest of the episode. So I hope that she's okay. And for me, Maddie Walker is definitely the dark horse of this season. She's definitely surprised me from week to week and definitely improved a lot. Remember, she was in my bottom 4 performances for many episodes, and I didn't think she'd make it this far. The next contestant to come on down was my personal fave, Joey Cook, and she sang Fancy by Iggy Azalea with a twist. No, she didn't show off her rap skills, but she did perform the song in a jazzy, bluesy, flapper style. And all I have to say is pure perfection. What a true artist. She reminds me of Adam Lambert in the fact that she changes up the songs week to week and does her own thing. And she's not up there just singing karaoke style. Next up was heartthrob Clark Beckham, and he sang Taking It to the Streets by the Doobie Brothers. And he performed the song behind a piano. And in my personal opinion, I think he should have performed a Billy Joel song. I wasn't a big fan of this performance, but Clark did his thing, and it was actually a pretty good performance. Next up was Jax, and she sang Blank Space by Taylor Swift. This performance was very karaoke-like, and the performance was very stage-like, and obviously staged because they planted a cute guy with a hat so Jax can go up to him and sing a verse and take his hat and then go on with her performance. And the performance was definitely not a very good performance for me. The arrangement of the song wasn't very good. It was pretty much standardized for the Taylor Swift song, except for they had a little harder edge with the chords. They tried to make it a little more rockish type, but it just didn't work. And for me, Jax is a type of performer that shouldn't be up there moving around and dancing and doing choreography. She has a type of voice that she belongs behind a piano or a very small band and just sing her heart out and hypnotize us with her great, smooth, jazzy style voice. And in my opinion, more performances like this from Jax and she's gone. The Jax pack isn't going to keep saving her from this. It was a train wreck. Kassim Middleton was next, and he sang Jet by Paul McCartney and Wings. And Kassim performed the song playing the electric guitar, and he seemed kind of tethered to me. Kassim is the type of performer that he is best when he's out there moving around, dancing and singing. He obviously doesn't have the greatest voice, but he knows how to entertain with not only his voice, but his dance moves and everything. Having Kassim just stand there with the electric guitar, I mean, he did kind of move around in some parts, but still, he was still tethered. But having him stand there with, just singing and barely moving is kind of like having Michael Jackson do the same. It's just not the same Kassim performance. Also, I personally didn't like the song choice. It was a very bad song choice if you ask me. And personally, I think he should have saved Uptown Funk for this week because he would have just killed it again. Donna Durer was next, and she sang Runaway Baby by Bruno Mars. And as Donna was singing, I just kept thinking, wow, she's very beautiful, and she looks kind of tall. I don't know how tall she is, but I think she should go into modeling. So Donna, if the music career doesn't pan out, maybe you should go into modeling for a few years. I personally wasn't a huge fan of the song choice, and I thought maybe she should have sang some Tina Turner. But she did have a little bit more control over her voice. Her vocals weren't all over the place, so that's an improvement. Next up was Tiana Jones, and she sang Tightrope by Janelle Monáe. What a performance! And Tiana just owns that stage from week to week. I just love her, and she is definitely a front runner this season. Next up was Daniel Seavey, and he sang Happy by Pharrell. His vocals for this song definitely were not the greatest. It was very pitchy, but his performance-wise, he was actually pretty good. He seemed very comfortable up on the stage. And I have to agree with the judges. This was by far his greatest performance, but that's only comparing his performances to himself. Obviously, he pales in comparison to the other contestants. And like I said, I think that attributes to his lack of experience and his lack of control over his own voice. Quentin Alexander was next, singing Rolling in the Deep by Adele. The arrangement of the song was kind of weird. It's almost like psychedelic. I thought I was transported back in the 70s. The vocals were great, and I love watching Quentin, and I'm so glad that he made it to the top 12. And after Quentin's performance, that just left two contestants, Serena Joy Crow and Nick. I thought for sure Serena was going through, but I was shocked. And the final contestant in the top 11 was Nick. He sang Wake Me Up by Aloe Blacc. For me, it wasn't his greatest performance. It was a very solid performance from Nick, but obviously not his greatest. And it was a great song choice for Nick. And of course, Serena Joy Crow was the last contestant and thus eliminated. Oh my god! And for her swan song, she sang Neon Lights by Demi Lovato. It wasn't her greatest performance. It was pitchy in areas, but that could be understood because she was the last one picked and all the emotions going through her head. And of course, the crowd wanted the judges to use the save, but unfortunately, the judges chose not to use it. Wow, this elimination just blew me away. The girl that was the front runner is gone in the first week after announcing the top 12. Serena had a great voice, and I understood why the judges didn't use it because it was so early in the competition, and so, I mean, it's understandable. but it was just very shocking. It reminded me of the shocking eliminations by Jennifer Hudson and Pia Toscano. But it goes to show that it's anybody's year. My bottom 2 performances for this week are Daniel Seavey and Jax. Daniel obviously is in my bottom 2 because he pales in comparison to the other competitors, but like I said, this was his greatest performance, and he sure is cute. And Jax is in my bottom 2 because, like I said, that performance for me was a train wreck, and she needs to get her ass behind the piano again. And stay behind the piano. Well, those are my choices for the bottom 2. What are your choices for the bottom 2? And also, were you as shocked as I was that Serena Joy Crow was eliminated? I about choked on my drink whenever that came down. Because when it came down to just those 2, I thought for sure Nick was going home. And for me, Nick isn't the greatest performer and whatnot. Like, he is definitely in the top tier, but, you know, for me, he's definitely not the best. And he kind of reminds me of a less rockish Daughtry. Anyway, leave a comment down below on your thoughts of this episode, and also who you think is going to be eliminated next week. And remember, peace, love, unity, respect. Peace out, guys.